Hey gang, it's Dr. Fred. I don't know if you can see me on my camera here. Okay, so we're gonna go up. Hey, this is Dr. Fred live, and I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight. Can't see the camera here. And because we're going to talk about something that's truly a game changer. And that game changer is how to use pain and pleasure to create even more lifetime patients without convincing. How frustrating is that? You know, chiropractic is a healthcare. We all know this. That's the principle of chiropractic, right? The spine and nervous system is the foundation of health and life in the body. The brain sends energy down the spinal cord. Spinal cord sends energy to the organs. And so many Americans, because how we've taught them in the past, use chiropractic for back pain and neck pain, right? And how frustrating is that? Well, we all know from human behavior, pain and pleasure are the two primary decision-making emotions that drive all human behavior. And after studying 20 years of human behavior and learning how to use pain and pleasure right here to help all people's life-changing decisions is really just a game changer. And so I'm excited to bring you this because I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes or so showing you how to use pain and pleasure, showing you the results of that, showing you how to fulfill your purpose on a higher level, how what we've been doing in the past hasn't gotten us where we want to go, because 4.2% of Americans actually think chiropractic is a healthcare system. And so I think we just need to make a change. I think that, and we know the principle of chiropractic is for all humanity, and everybody deserves to live a healthy, unsubluxated life. Would you guys agree? So what I want to do is go through this with you and really help you create a mindset shift that will help things be different. So I'm going to go through this with you. You guys ready? Put on your game face, put on your crash helmet, and let's go. Okay, so after 11 years, I did this the hard way, right? So I came out of chiropractic school, man, I want to change the world. And what did I find? You know, I didn't really know how to communicate. So I learned, I figured I need to hire a coach. And so I hired coaches, and what they taught me to do, they taught me structure, they taught me communication. But what I found was I could get 50% commitment to care. What's that mean? That means 5 out of 10 would quit when they were out of pain. I was a corrective care doc. I could get 5 out of 10 to commit to care and actually be healthy. Well, and what I found out is that's actually pretty good, right? And 30% would pay for their care, pay for all their care, get that done, 30% would prepay. But what did you find? 5 out of 10 are walking out. 5 out of 10 thought chiropractic was about back pain. And that's really not what we want. What that would give me was about a 40 PVA. Now, PVA is how many visits does the average person stay? You figure that out by looking how many visits a week divided by how many new patients a week, right? And so 40 visits, 3 times a week, every 3 months, your practice is changing. Why? Because people would drop out of care. Why? Because their pain was gone. They got a little bit of correction. They felt better. Life happens. We get caught up in tasks. We get busy, work, kids, all these things. So now we're on Facebook Live. So you guys that aren't chiropractors, this is what we do. We use chiropractic for back pain when in reality, the structure of our spine isn't right. It's causing stress to the spinal cord. We have these health problems, and then we run around chasing diagnoses, maybe being on drugs, trying all these things, when really the most primary problem comes from my spine. So what did I experience? Total frustration. Why? Because we're always having to need new patients. We watch these relationships become temporary relationships. Now, everybody creates lifetime patients, but is it really 80%? So what did I feel? I felt frustration. I wanted to figure out why. How do people make life-changing decisions? When I found through all the coaches in chiropractic, all the communication that was being taught, I couldn't find that answer. And so I decided one day that's it. I remember a woman walked in. She was an executive woman, walked in, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not saying the same thing to every person over and over and over again. And I just decided I'm going to do something different. So I went in there, created an original script, so to speak, of what did I really want her to get. And she said, so what you're saying is my spine and posture determine my overall health. Well, I paid attention to that, and I said, I'm done. So I spent the next 4 years studying human behavior, how people make life-changing decisions, and how pain, pleasure principles affected people's lives. Okay? And that was it. I learned how to use pain and pleasure. Now, immediately, what happened? Shoot, I went to 50% committing to 70 to 80%, 7 to 8 out of patients committing to total corrective care, and 70% of those just saying, I'm done. I want to go through your program. Here we go, and paying for care up front. That was a massive difference. Then I went to a 70 PVA. So what that was, either people were out in the first week, a couple of them, 20%, or the rest of them stayed for over 100 visits. So patient after patient after patient got it. They wanted to live their life differently. Isn't that what we always ask? How do more people get it? Right? Tony Robbins says the power of your life is determined by the power of the questions you ask yourself. And what do we say? How did people understand chiropractic like we do? Because they would have a healthy lives like we do. Well, finally, I started to get it. And then one day I looked at my schedule. Man, we were so busy. It's like, God, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. And then I prayed over my schedule. A year and a half later, right, I found myself coaching. And then for the last 16 years, I spent intensive studying NLP, Cialdini, human behavior, studies out of Harvard, Stanford. How do people make life-changing decisions? Life coaching. I started to apply all that, and we created a patient management communication system and boot camps that made such an impact that in the last 2 years, we've helped over 200 doctors, corrective care doctors, increase patient commitment to care 30 to 50%. That means 3 to 5 more patients that you're already getting commit to not only full correction, but 80% of those, 8 out of 10, move into lifetime care. And that success rate was 93.6. That means 93.6 of over 200 corrective care docs could not only increase that commitment to care, but 8 out of 10 would become lifetime patients. Man, how would it feel if you had the confidence in a system that 8 out of 10 of your patients could actually move into lifetime care? Would you fulfill your purpose on a higher level? Well, what I'm going to do is spend the next 40 minutes or so showing you how to do it the easy way. Because after 20 years, man, I've suffered. I've invested hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in 2 decades. So I can help you fulfill your purpose and the general public really understand and live chiropractic. And that's what it's about, how to use pain, pleasure to do that. So if you, haven't done this before, hey, getting new patients is a new opportunity every time, right? So it sucks when they don't commit or they quit. How does that feel? Doc, I feel great. Doc, I can't afford it anymore. Doc, I'm doing this, right? These are all excuses for the fact that our message didn't get it. And we just don't want to do that anymore. But you know what? It's not your fault. And so people say, well, I can't do this. I've never done it before. Hey, anyone can do it. You just need the system. I say it's just like CBP. That's the most complicated corrective care system in the world, right? Yet it's, in my opinion, one of the most effective, but anyone can do it. Anyone can learn it. You can learn it if you study it. If someone can make it easy enough, you can get that same result. Now, what most patient managements have been teaching us is basic sales and transactional relationships. What's that mean? Ms. Jones, I know you have back pain. How's your back pain affecting your life? Well, what you're going to learn is pain is only short-term change. So it works for pain care. And if you're really good and you're able to build good relationships, it helps with some correction. But it's certainly, if you don't have any skills on communication, that will definitely build your practice. There's enough groups out there that are doing this, and they will show you how to get patient to begin care. The problem is it doesn't get lifetime care on a higher percentage, and I'm going to show you why. So if your goal and purpose is lifetime care, if your goal and purpose is to help people how to be healthy for the rest of their life, how to help them change the rest of their life, then this is what we're going to show you. So what's different about this than anything that's been taught? This is a professional communication training that's not found anywhere in chiropractic coaching because it wasn't learned in chiropractic. It was learned outside of chiropractic. You know, I study what the top influencers in the world are doing, the Tony Robbins and God, all the human research behavior and what people are doing now to change the world. And this is what they're doing. And so that you can't find what we're going to go through tonight in chiropractic. Why? Because it's a science of human behavior. This is 20 years of science, gang, that you're going to get condensed down. And it works like math. 1 + 1 is 2. How do you get 80% in lifetime care? It's math. It's how to use pain and pleasure to motivate people to want to change their life. Why do we do this? Because you deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be your best. You want to be the best doctor. If you're a patient and you're in the general public, you want to live at your best. We all have a God-given purpose to fulfill. And if our body is sick or subluxated, you know, where our spine isn't working right, we're not going to fulfill it. And as a chiropractor, you have a message for humanity to change their life. So this is where the science of spinal correction meets the science of human behavior. This is the most powerful combination ever in chiropractic, and you deserve it. And it's not because of what I say. I'm going to show you what the results of other people have gotten. So how cool is that? So who is this information good for? Well, it's for doctors that want the highest amount of patient commitment to full correction to live a subluxation-free life. They actually want people to live an optimal spine, optimal health lifestyle at the highest level. These are for doctors who want to create the most lifetime patients, create the most impact on the lives of every patient. Do you want to change the way people live? And if you want to change the way they live, then we got to change the way they think. And if we're going to change the way they think, we have to be able to move them on an emotional basis. Okay, we want doctors who don't want to have to rely on marketing. Man, people quit. That's a work hard system. You want more qualified referrals. You want people that are more emotionally engaged. So emotionally engaged that they refer. Because guess what? Satisfied patients don't refer. People that are happy with their care don't refer. People that are emotionally involved in their care, that are inspired to be leaders, want to go out and help other people. So if you don't want to have to rely on marketing and you want to get more referrals of qualified people, then this is where you should be. It is also for doctors who want it to be easy, so you can be the best spinal corrective doctor. And I know we talk to a lot of CBP docs. So, I mean, I worked hard based on marketing for 11 years. The last 4 years before I started coaching, didn't have to do any marketing. We did it because we wanted to, not because we needed to. And this is all throughout Elite. So let's jump into this. Do you want it to be the hard way or the easy way? Because, man, you can go walk the mountain, you can run your practice, but see that mountain over there? Is your staff engaged? Are they leaders? What percentage of patients commit to care? What percentage of patients go into lifetime care? We can keep doing the same thing we've always done, but I'm going to show you what we've always done with a few statistics that are shocking. And then you realize we've been doing this the hard way for 123 years. Right? Maybe we need to do something different. Well, you know what? If you want to ski, let's take the gondola. See all those trees and shrubs down there? Imagine if you got to hack your way up through the mountain like that. Well, that's what we've been doing in the profession. So why don't we just do it a different way? Why don't we do it a way that's easy, can get us, boom, straight from point A to point B, right? So what's the hard way? Well, the stats are in the profession right now, the average doctor gets 20 to 50% commitment to care. That means 2 to 5 people, new patients that come in, commit to corrective care. What else does it mean? What's the opposite? 5 to 8 are walking out when they're out of pain. They're saying they can't afford it. What's my insurance cover? They're giving you all these directions. The average PVA is 18. That means across the profession, the average patient stays 18 visits. That's pain care. Why? That's what we've been teaching the whole time, right? Why does 70% of Americans go to chiropractors think it's about back pain? Well, so if you look at that, are we really making the impact that we want? Or maybe we have to do something different. So Henry Ford, when we invented the car, said, if you would have asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Of course. Why? Because people just want things that are better when if you want to change the world, you got to have something different. I mean, we've been doing something that's supposedly better for 123 years, but we have 4.2% of Americans going to chiropractors that understands healthcare. Now, here's the thing. We have a new model. A car is like a new model. Okay, when you're doing corrective care, that's a new model. Now, if you have a horse and you want it to be better and you want a better system, what's the fuel for a horse? Hay, straw, oats, right? Would I put hay, straw, and oats into that car as fuel? So if we're in a new world that is a different world, would you guys agree that we live in that the world is different? And how fast is it changing? I mean, shoot, it can change in minutes at times. Getting on a new iPhone comes out and the whole world is different, right? Why would we use the same fuel if the world is different? Does that make sense? Why would we keep using the same fuel if in 123 years all we've gotten is 4.2%? That's all I'm asking is let's do something. Let's use a different type of fuel, i.e. your communication strategy. So here's for elite clients that have gone to the boot camps. Here's the easy way. So what we see out of those over 200 docs, 70 to 84% commit to full corrective care. Now we have spinal corrective docs. Many of them are CBP. That's a hard system, even for patients, right? So that's full corrective care, 2 phases of care, 72 visits. Now, 78 to 86% of those go to lifetime care. That means you can get 8 out of the average. Now, this is the bell curve, gang. 8 out of 10 commit to full corrective care. 8 out of 10 of those go into lifetime care. Now, if you could do that, now that's the majority. Of course, people that do less of the pain pleasure, they're getting less. People that learn more of those systems are doing even more than that. So if you could learn that, and if you could get these results, would that make a bigger impact, not only in the lives of your patients, but in your purpose and your team? What do you think? Well, here's why we get those percentages. So if you look at innovators and early adapters, okay, that total 2.5 plus 13.5, that's 16%. Okay, those are people, man, they sleep on the sidewalk when a new Apple phone's coming out, man, they're camping out on the sidewalk, okay? Those people love new stuff, man, they want to be the first. That's not me, but some people like the camping on the sidewalk to be the first. Now, early majority, they say, heck no, I'm not camping on the sidewalk. I'm going to wait 2 weeks and I'm going to go to the Apple store and I'm going to get the new iPhone there. That's 34%. So what's 16 plus 34? 50%. Well, there's your 20 to 50%. If you can just show a person why chiropractic is better, 16%, yep, I'm in. The other 34%, well, you know, what's the cost? I don't know. It seems like a lot. Okay. And if you're really passionate about what you do, you have certainty and correction, hey, man, you're going to get 50%. If you're passionate, you're certain, you're purpose-driven, you're convicted, there you go. Now let's look at the late majority. Whoa, we're in a different crowd. These people have belief systems you have to overcome. They don't trust. They're used to saying, I can't afford something. These people, they're still on an iPhone 4, you know, and we got iPhone 10 out. They're not going past the 4 because all this new technology, I'm going to wait to see how it is. They're going to wait until they're in such a bad crisis that maybe it's even too late. Now what's 50 plus 34? 84. See, that's why the profession gets 20 to 50%. Why do elite people get into the 84%? Because they have training. When you look at the late majority, man, they have subconscious belief systems. You have to overcome beliefs. They have things that are holding them back. And just information alone and your state and your purpose and your conviction is not going to get the majority of these people. Now, why do elite people get the majority of these? Because they've had professional communication training, how to use pain and pleasure to identify belief systems, how to overcome them, how to find the inspiration within each person that makes them want to be motivated. Now, the laggards, 16%, they're still using rotary dial phones. So you don't even want those. But even with some training, you can get some of those. So here's why. This is the way it is. Now, chiropractic is focused a lot on pain, right? Why, Miss Jones, how's your back pain affecting your life? Okay, that will get the 20 to 50%. That'll start some in the late majority, but that's not going to get the innovators, early adapters, early majority, and late majority into lifetime care. In fact, that's not going to get even a lot of late majority to even start, and I'm going to show you why. So what you have tonight is a new opportunity. Those big doors represent a mindset. How to see something that's so powerful that can help you make a bigger impact on your patients, in your community, and on your purpose. How cool is that? So let's get into this. Tony Robbins, one of the top business coaches in the world. Hey, if you want to achieve success, all you need to do is model those people that have already succeeded. By the way, a lot of this comes straight from Tony Robbins. How does he get 8,000 people across the fire? And out of 8,000, 30 people get blisters. Okay, let me get this. You just walked across 2,000 degree coals and 30 people got blisters. The other 7,970 people got nothing. He must be doing something. Now, that sounds like chiropractic to me. So when we taught these pain pleasure principles, let's look at these results. Dr. Ben Gillis in Michigan, he invested $20,000, went into the coaching, grew his practice 50% within 90 days, all referrals, no marketing, fired his whole PR staff, team runs his practice, increases collections over $230,000 in the first year. $20,000 investment, got over 10 times his investment. Now it's not about the 230 grand, gang. How many lives are affected from that type of investment? Chris and Lauren DiCarlo, they spent, again, 20 grand invested in the whole program. They increased their practice 50% in the first 3 months. Not only did they get rid of 80% of their insurance, they went 80% cash, still increased their collection about $250,000 in the first year. So how many lives is that? Hey, they got rid of insurance and still increased the over-the-counter collections because so many people not only committed to full care, but committed to lifetime care. In 18 months, they created over 300 lifetime patients. Wow, imagine, what if you could do that? I have a question. If you could create that in 2 years, would that create a different practice and purpose for you? They're fully certified CBP, 86% full correction. What's that mean? 72 visits. Hey, and this is a rehab system. You know, it's not cheap. It's $3,600 for 40 visits. Okay. And they have 92% into lifetime care. Now, guess what? Look at that. This is common in elite. These are the coaches that teach in the boot camps how to get 80% or more into lifetime care. Now, here's a fascinating thing for those people that think people can't afford care. They just found out in March, 60% of their county is on welfare. So you have 2 phases of correction, 92% in the lifetime care, 60% of their county is on welfare. I can't afford it is a belief system. It's not a condition. Miles Fortner, hey, when he came to me, he was collecting $12,000 a month, seeing 60 people a week, first year of coaching, invested, he found 20 grand somehow, tripled his practice, collected over 60 grand a month, tripled his practice, increased his collections 5 times. That's from a $20,000 a month investment, changes the life and the lives of patients. So I'm going to show you, not $20,000, how to take $13,982 investment and turn that into $113,000. How you can make 10 times your investment because so many people will commit not only to corrective care, but lifetime care. Now, I have a question for you. If you could make 10 times your investment back in just in the first year, is that a great investment? That does include second, third, fourth, right after that, but just in the first year. Let me show you how to do that. Well, it's with using the pain pleasure principle, man. This is the fuel, gang. I swear to you, you learn this, your life and their lives will change. Now, how do we know? Pain pleasure principle is the core of everything. Of what? Of everything you do. And of everything. Of what? Say it again. Everything you are. Your pain pleasure principle is everything that you do and you are. That's who you are as a human being. This is the foundational emotion. In fact, every part of your psyche, your mindset, is influenced in some way by pain and pleasure. Isn't that fascinating? These are the decisions we're making every day. Therefore, who you are today is how you've interpreted and acted in the past based on your experience of pain and pleasure. How you act today, all your behaviors, all your subconscious behaviors and beliefs are from previous experiences from pain pleasure. Isn't that fascinating? Pain pleasure principle creates the foundations of your motivation. This is it, man. And this is out of research I got online. So the secret to your success. Now, this isn't about success, gang. I know you're reading on, but hang on. The secret to fulfilling your purpose is learning how to use pain and pleasure as a tool rather than having pain and pleasure use you. Oh my God. Hey, Tony Robbins claims to have thousands, how many? Thousands of people that were 9 out of 10 of suicide, never lost one. So if he can teach us how to use, well, he already taught me, right? Not him directly, but how to use pain and pleasure as a tool, then we don't have to live by the effect of pain and pleasure. What's that? The pain of people quitting, the pleasure of some people committing, right? Then if we got 5 out of 10, hey, we got half pleasure, half pain. That doesn't sound like very much fun. Do you guys want to, this is a life purpose. You want to have half pain? That sucks. You know what? After 11 years, I got tired of the freaking pain. Okay? I got tired of an unfulfilled purpose. So I figured out what the best people in the world are doing so I can have some freaking pleasure. You guys want some pleasure? This is basic stuff, man. Okay, so let's use it and experience it from a great way rather than it using us. God, I hate that powerless feeling. That's bullshit. Okay, let's, little profanity slipping out here. Okay, what else do you say? 80% of success is physiology and psychology. What's it mean? How you feel changes your mind. Hey, by the way, these slides, gang, are coming right out of our boot camp. We have 2.5 day experience all about how to use pain and pleasure to move people. That's why they get 8 out of 10, commitment to carry 8 out of 10 lifetime. 20% is facts. Well, shit. I'm sorry. No freaking wonder we get 2 to 5 out of 10 because 20% is facts. We're describing facts on an x-ray, Ms. Jones, and we're trying to use emotion. How does your pain affect your life? Well, I can't pick up my kids. 2 adjustments later, doc, I can pick up my kids. My back pain's gone. You're the best in the world. I'll come back when my back hurts. It's facts. Okay? Why? Pain is not long-term reinforcement. Don't read ahead. Oh, I know you're reading ahead. We said don't read ahead. Pain is not long-term reinforcement. Pleasure is. Okay, don't read ahead. Okay, fine, read ahead. Pain ignites change. Pleasure makes it last. Now, how do we know this? Okay, we'll get this. If you're in pain, you know what? Here's an example. My back hurt the other day. Why? Because I was squatting way too much. But I got adjusted. So I'm a little bit sore. Did that stop me from doing heavy leg press the next day? No. Why? Because it hurts, but I wasn't injured. See, when you're injured, you change your life. When you have pain, you don't change your life. Now, how do you know this? Because how do you know pleasure makes long-term change? Well, guess what? Are you married? Do you go through short-term pain for long-term pleasure? Do you have kids? Do you go through short-term pain for long-term pleasure? Did you go to chiropractic school? Did you go through short-term pain to have a purpose for the rest of your decades, the rest of your life? Pleasure is why we make long-term change. Pain only starts change. Dang, do you know you're actually living this? Here's the funny thing. This is how we live, but we try to fulfill a purpose of helping people live their life differently, and we're doing we're actually doing opposite of what we're living. Why is that? Well, that's what I figured out as I was banging my head against the wall for 11 years. So I decided I didn't want to bang my head against the wall anymore. I was tired of the pain and want some freaking pleasure. And so we study what this guy does. Here's the thing about pain. Pain is when conditions don't match your world. What's that mean? Pain is when you're experiencing something and your model of what you should be experiencing is different. Well, that's when a person has back pain, but they feel injured. And so they go, you know what? This sucks. I can't do it. I'll go in there. Doc just cracked my back. I've done it before. Been 18 different chiropractors. You know what they're not saying? My model doesn't match my world. And so here it is, right? But the problem is people expect pain in their life. Okay. Do you expect, if you're married, sometimes to disagree with your spouse? Hopefully it's not all the time, but is it a big surprise when you don't see things from the same perspective? Hey, well, you know what? If you're different genders, just by that alone, life is different, right? So people expect to live with pain. That's why it's only short-term change. It ignites change, but it doesn't create long-term change because they know pain's part of life. Pain is inevitable. They can have solutions, right? Hey, my back hurts. You know what? I won't squat today. I'll do leg presses instead, right? That's like, Doc, can't I just go to the gym? Doc, can't I just get a massage? Doc, can't I just stand up straighter? Doc, can't I just take Advil? Oh, please. Are you tired of listening to that? But why? It's not their fault. It's our fault because we didn't know how to use it because we didn't bring it in the profession. Well, you know what? Those days are over. Pain ignites change. Hey, this is a great picture. Why? It's like a match. You light a match, big old flame. Then what happens? Flame dies out. You burn up the stick. Flame goes out. Why? That's like patient, Doc, I can't afford it anymore. Doc, I'm busy. Doc, I'm too much work. Doc, my insurance is out. Doc. Ah! Because pain, anytime you associate an emotion with pain, it's going to be short term. Well, we've been done what we've been taught. Why are we doing this? Because this is what we've been taught. I was taught the same thing in management groups. Give them what they want, then teach them what they need. Okay, well, here's the problem. The problem is when you ask them how their pain is affecting their life, now you're associating an emotion with a physiologic condition. They come in pain. Remember, 80% of influence is physiology. Their physiology is experiencing something. Now you're making an emotional association with a physiologic state that wires into their brain. That means you just wired a subconscious belief and behavior system in their brain. So you think you're giving them what they want, and then you're going to teach them what they need, but you already wired them. You neuro-emotionally wired them. Okay, guess what? Here's the deal. That goes totally against all research in human behavior for long-term commitment. Whoa. What are the key? I just hit myself in the face. What are those three key words other than totally against? That's two words. Long-term commitment. I have a question. Is chiropractic a lifestyle or is it a condition? See, you can start patients. There's tons of them. I can name them all, and they're all great because if you don't know anything about how to get patient commitment, they're going to change your life. They will make you survive. They'll even make you thrive. But if your purpose, see, that can be success, and they will teach you how to be successful. Will it fulfill your purpose? You know, and that's the difference between success and fulfillment. I'm not here for success. Man, there's 8 million people that'll show you how to be successful. I was very successful, right? 4 practices, all 500, 450 to 500 a week. When I learned fulfillment, when I learned paid pleasure, we blew through 700 a week like we were standing still. That was fulfillment. Okay? It's against long-term commitment. What's another word for two words for long-term commitment? Lifetime, if that's one word, care. Lifetime care. Is your purpose lifetime care? Then we got to change the model. Wow. Is anybody getting excited about this? I'm standing on an orange crate here. I know you guys can't see me. So what does this lead to? Well, if you do that, then you're going to need more new patients. Why? Because they're going to quit when they're out of pain. They're going to quit at 40 visits. So now you're forced to market. Okay? It's also So now, again, you have to work harder for marketing. Why? Because people are going to quit when they're out of pain. Now, you can have a certain percentage go in lifetime care. And if you're really good at it, you may be able to convert some. But are you going to convert 8 out of 10? See, I'm not talking about 2 out of 10. I'm not talking about 3 out of 10. I'm talking about consistently 78 to 86% into lifetime care. Chris and Lauren, 92%. I could show you others that are over 90%. Wow. Pain patients tend towards shorter commitments. You already know that. Pain-focused patients, even when it's associated with an emotion, what are they going to do? They're going to lead to pain-focused referrals. Now, patients come in expecting something. Now you're going to try and change their mind. Now they come in, hey, my friend told me about pain. Hey, their life has totally changed. It's great. It's awesome. I have this problem. They're already associated with pain. And then you reinforce it. Now you just hardwired it into them even deeper. And then you're going to try and put them in lifetime care. Does anybody notice they have a knot on their forehead? Because I had one of those, because that's banging your head against a wall, trying to do the same thing. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. Is it going to get you lifetime care on 80% or more? Probably not. I haven't seen it yet. But we do see it when we actually study human behavior and we learn how to use it. Pain is short-term commitment. So corrective care and CBP docs, pain-centered communication. If you're a corrective care doc, it doesn't match full correction. The things don't match. So then you become incongruent. That's why you're frustrated. You have a purpose for spinal correction, yet the communication system used doesn't match. And that's why that's the difference between success and fulfillment. Man, you're a chiropractor. Like every person deserves to fulfill their purpose in chiropractic. Okay? What are the next thing they do? They associate goals with what they can do. What's that? Which is what? Ms. Jones, what can't you do because of your back pain? I mean, I remember being in North Carolina. They would come in, doc, my back hurts, and, I can't play golf, and I got to go this weekend, but I got to get money from all my buddies. They didn't give a crap about healthcare, right? I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina. They had scars on their neck where they got their carotids routed from, atherosclerosis. They're like, look, just help me get money for my friends this weekend. But associated with were they long-term commitment? No. Helping them do something is short-term. Change what they can do. A few adjustments changes what you can do. Most people don't care what they can do in long-term change. We may say, yeah, they do. But the problem is when they can do it already, they reach their goal. Because they think all I have to do is get adjusted. And if I can't do it, I just go adjust it again and I can do it. So that's why it doesn't create permanent long-term change. Permanent. Right? What do they care about? They care about why they want to do what they do. Those are their core values. They care about who are they becoming when they do it. That's identity. Values, identity, purpose. Now, here's the problem. We got to go beyond pain. We got to go into suffering. Suffering is unrelenting emotional pain. It's not physical pain. What's that mean? That means I have a condition that's stressing me out and it will never go away. I have a question. How many people have kids? Why do your kids get grounded? Because you say, I'm done. This is changing. This stops. You're grounded. Why do you get in an argument or a talk with your spouse? So when your spouse says, honey, we have to talk. You're like, oh, crap. What's coming now, right? Or maybe that was just me. I don't know. But anyway, so it's like, oh, shit, we got to make changes, right? Why do people do that? Why do people get married? Pleasure. Why do they get divorced? Suffering, okay? So suffering happened. You said, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. It involves a sense of powerlessness. What's that mean? I need to change something. Otherwise, this will never go away. That means you got to take massive action. You got to make a must decision or it will never end, never ending. That is suffering. As a personal example, I had my wife, second wife, die of cancer. And it was definitely pain when I watched her take her last breath. The suffering was looking back after she died at our relationship and how often we argued about small things. And it wasn't me. I'm a big picture guy. But that was suffering. That actually bothered me for years to get away from, and it's been 14 years now, so I was able to get past that. But I'll tell you, it was probably close to a decade for me to get rid of that suffering. Patient has to feel suffering to make a must decision. What's that related to? It's related to their overall health. It's not related to their pain affecting their condition. It's related to who they are. Who are they becoming when they experience that unrelenting emotional pain? Now, here we go. Pleasure makes change permanent. We already know that. That's how Tony gets people across the fire. He puts them in such a pleasure state, they can do anything. Now, that's the state that people should be in before you give them time and money. The most powerful resource is not money. It's human emotion. Hey, that's right out of boot camp 2. Right? Boot camp 1 is all about pain. Boot camp 2 is all about pleasure. That's why people climb mountains. That's why they go to the top of Everest when 1 out of 5 die. Okay? Why do they do that? Because it's who they are, right? Who am I when I drive a Lamborghini? Who am I when I live in a house and provide a great life for my family? Right? That's what they buy, their purpose and their identity. And when there's so much pleasure, they are willing to overcome time and money and change the way they live their life. See, that's what we miss in chiropractic. We've been so focused on pain. That's why it's an 18 PVA. Now, even if you're doing more, if it's pain-based, your PVA and lifetime care will not be the same. Now, here's the model Tony Robbins uses to get people from suicide into empowerment. So we have a problem. Maybe that's back pain, overall health. Now, then we talk about their pain. Now, their pain isn't their physical pain, it's their emotional pain. And we show them how by the way, does the subluxated spine correct itself, or does it get worse? That's suffering. Now, going down that loop, that's taking them into suffering. That's day 1, day 2. Now, here's what we've been trained. You show them their problem. Then, when they're feeling their worst, okay, basically, here's what we do. We have you feel like shit about yourself. And then you hope they're in an empowered state, say, darn it, I'm going to change. Well, let me ask you a question. Does Tony Robbins say, hey, for 16 hours, I'm going to show you why you suck, and then I'm going to have you walk across fire? Or does it have you jumping around? If he did, he'd need a whole team of attorneys. Let's just say his seminars wouldn't be that popular. I doubt he would have 8,000 people. He'd have 8,000 people in a hospital not walking across the fire. That's why he doesn't do that. Isn't that fascinating? What's he do? He doesn't go day 1, day 2, and then say, now let me give you time and money when you feel at your worst. He shows them how to get at their highest emotional resource, how to get into such extreme pleasure, they'll do anything. So I have a question. Holidays are coming up. You got your loved ones. How do you want to make your kids feel? Do you spend a bunch of money taking them on vacations, buying them cool stuff that you're like, shit, man, our budget might be a little bit tight, but we have to do this for Christmas? Do you go contribute to feed the homeless? What do you do? All that is pleasure-based. Do you experience pain during the process? During the holidays? Heck yeah, you do, because you might be getting on a plane going to see your family, and you got to wait in security lines. That's pain. Okay, clear, TSA pre-check. Thank you very much. However, do we go through pain to experience great pleasure through the holidays? Yeah. So again, here's how you're acting, but we don't do that with patients. Doesn't that seem a little odd? Anyway, let's keep going. So when you put people in pain and then you try to give them time and money, you want to say, okay, now I hope is a strategy. We're using hope. I might as well just flip a coin because it's 20 to 50% anyway. So we'd like to flip a coin at every report of findings. Well, what are objections from short-term commitment? Pain without using pleasure before asking for time and money. I can't afford it. I don't have time. What's my insurance cover? My spouse can't make it. Can't make it to a workshop, can't make it to an RF. Oh, by the way, he works. I have to think about it for 24 hours. We don't use credit cards. Do I need to go on? These are the things you hear in a financial. Why? Because you gave them time and money when you put them in a low state and they don't care. Because you didn't put them in a peak state. Jeez, am I the only one getting fired up about this? Just curious. So that's why we do this. So we have boot camp 1 is all about pain. Man, how do you say, I'm ready to change my life right now? Is that long-term commitment? No. And then we have a day 3. Then we say, let's get them in a peak state so they have unwavering commitment. What kind? Unwavering commitment that they're going to change the way they live their life and they're ready to invest in it. There's a young woman, Dr. Nona Javid. I met her 2 months out of school, CBP seminar. She was an associate in one room. She borrowed 20 grand from her dad to do coaching, owned her own practice, moved out of that one room, owned her own practice in the first year, 18 months, collected over $500,000. So 2 years out of school, how many students 2 years out of school make $500,000? She learned pain and pleasure, baby. Chris Miners called me up one day. I'm broke. I suck. Basically, this sucks. I'm about to go bankrupt. What do? I have no money. I go, can you give me $1,000 and go to a boot camp? He said, I have $1,000, all I have. I don't know how I'm going to make another payment. I said, don't worry about it. Just get to a boot camp. If you can't make the next payment, don't worry about it. I'll help you. But if you go to the boot camp, you're not going to have a problem making any payments. He trusted me with his last dime. He paid off all $20,000 in 90 days after going to one boot camp. He expanded his clinic, invested in full CBP, expanded his clinic, filled it with CBP equipment, bought his new 7,000 square foot house. For 1 year, every Friday, he would call me and he would say, thank you. He would be in tears every Friday. I have a lump in my throat. There's Chris's. I'd see his caller ID. I talked to him. He goes, you changed my life. It wasn't me. It's what he did. It's what everybody did before me, man. This is not about me. This is about you. But you can't. What if you learn those skills? If you're anywhere above Chris, then your life is easy. Okay? The question is, are you getting 8 out of 10 to commit to care, 8 out of 10 lifetime care? I'm not here to tell you what your purpose is. I'm saying that people that were worse off than you made a massive difference in their life and in their purpose. Fogel was stuck on 120 a week, 40% commitment to care, bus over 200, 80% commitment to care, 50% increase in collections. He invested 20 grand. Craig Henney invested $20,000. He went 15 years without a vacation. Invested 20 grand. I coached his associate and his office manager. He took 3 weeks off, broke all-time collection records while he was gone. And in the last 6 months, broke total visits record twice. Okay? This is working with his associate and his office manager. You know why most people call me? Because they want freedom. When you can get 8 out of 10 in lifetime care, you have freedom. You don't have to manage your practice. Your team takes over, and people come because they love being there. Why? Because of pleasure. Not pain, because of pleasure. After that check clears, man, so to speak, the debit card goes through, it's all pleasure. We have so many systems on pleasure that people just come and they stay because they have pleasure. Imagine if every day in your marriage and your kids could be pleasure. You'd be one happy mofo, wouldn't you? All the time. You'd be even happier than you are now. And I'm sure you have tons of pleasure, but I'm sure every marriage, every relationship wants more pleasure. Well, how'd you like to do this in your practice? It's all about pleasure, gang. Now, here's a few emotional triggers that hold us back because you're listening to this. So what are you thinking? God, growth is more work. Well, if I would ask those people to increase, 50% or more in 90 days, what would they say? Hey, it's easier when you're doing the right systems. If growth is more work, then your mindset and your systems are off. Well, you know what? I'm already successful. Why do I need this? How about because you don't need it, but how about your patients need it? How about your patients are subluxated and you're in this to make a bigger impact in the lives of people? So every person that walks out doesn't get the gift that you have. What do you have? The ability to be able to get adjusted anytime. The ability to live your optimal spine, optimal health lifestyle. Let's do it for them regardless of your success. Success is not fulfillment. This is another reason I get people call me. I get people that already have over $1 million a year, but they have bigger visions. They're not getting 8 out of 10. So it's not about success. This is about your purpose. Will you say I can't afford it? Well, that's not what Chris said, but that's also the reason why you want it. See, one person's excuse is another person's reason. So if you can't afford it, I bet you're hearing that from your patients too, because that is a mindset. Can you afford it, or can you afford not to? Well, I can do it myself. Well, you know what? You probably can. So if you want to study 20 years of human behavior, or just go to two and a half day boot camp. I mean, can you do it and figure it out? Can you take some of this and try it yourself? Yeah, all the power to you, man, because we give away free content all the time. Here's the problem. Some people say, well, I can't do this. But if you can do it, then if you haven't done it already, you might not know what you don't know. See, that's it. If you don't know what you don't know, then can you do it the same? I don't know. So what you don't know is also what's causing your pain. Why? Because we don't know we don't know. All we know is we have pain. We don't know how to change it, so we keep doing the same thing, trying to do things better rather than try to do things different. Well, I probably shouldn't put oats in Henry Ford's Model T. So oats is better than straw, but it ain't going to work in a car. So I'm just thinking, do you want to do something different? That's up to you. Well, I can't do it. Well, anyone can do it. Shoot, man, anybody can learn it. It's like math. If you can do 1 + 1, you can do this. You just got to take the time to learn it. Why? Because your purpose is bigger than your excuse. I'm just saying. So how do we go into a peak state? Okay, well, I'm going to show you the tool. Now, we spend 4 hours at Boot Camp 2 on this. 4 hours. We spend 2.5 days on pleasure, 4 hours on this one tool. Now, you probably don't want to spend 4 hours on this Facebook Live, so I'm going to give you a few minutes and show you how to do this. What are the principles? Hey, right from Business Mastery, people don't buy products or service, they buy identity. What's that mean? They're not buying your chiropractic program. What are they buying? They're buying who they're becoming with the life they want to live. Right? What are they buying? Values, identity, purpose. So here's an example. This has actually happened in an elite office. Older gentleman in his 60s writes, I want to run marathons when I'm 80. Right? So rather than say, well, that's what he can do. But what do you ask? Why is that important to you? Because I have a history of heart attacks, not only with myself, but it's in my family. We have heart disease in my family. Right? So why is that? Well, I can see why you don't want to have a heart attack. I mean, that's obvious. So obviously you change diet, change your life. That's awesome. And I can see why you don't want to die of a heart attack. But who is he becoming? So what are you representing by doing this? Well, I represent that we can actually change heart disease in my family. What purpose will that fulfill for you? I want to change the generations to come in my family, that they don't have to suffer with heart disease. That's who he's becoming. He's becoming a leader. Now let's look at this. I want to run marathons when I'm 80. Well, he's running them at 60. It's right. He can already do it. But look at the purpose. See, that's called third level communication. What's first level? I want to run marathons. I'm 80. What's second level? Hey, you know what? I want to be a leader in my family. What's third level? I want to stop heart disease in the generations to come. That, when you do that, if he says that, then I would say, how important is that to you? It's everything. It's my life purpose. What's your health have to be like? Now I associate it with product or service. It has to be exceptional. So what's the most important thing in your life? My health. Then they look at their subluxated spine on x-ray. Does that look like a healthy person that can change the future generations in your family? Heck no, it doesn't. Do you want to see how you can change the generations of your family? Oh, yeah. They just lost the right to object. Guess what? This boot camp 2 is coming up in January. I'm going to show you this at the end. That's the difference. Now compare that to, gee, Jim, How is your back pain affecting your marathons? Are you kidding me? Look at the difference between that versus affecting the future generations of your family. A couple adjustments get them back on the marathon versus the lifelong commitment. Are you guys getting this? Or am I just getting fired up all by myself? Okay, let's go. Hey, Tim Radcliffe, he belonged to another coach. Told his coach his dreams. Coach, no, keep it simple, keep it simple. I'd tell him for 3 years, Tim, I'll help you get it. So he signed up. He was already making $1 million a year, but he had a vision. He had a vision of something bigger that was so big his coach didn't even see it. I tell him, I'll help you do it. So he grew 50% within his first 6 months. He doubled his income in the first year. So he went from $1 million to $2.2 million. He has a 15,000 square foot clinic. He went from a 7,000 square foot clinic. Yeah, I mean, most people are like, shit, that's huge. To 15,000 with 20 plus team members. He went from $350 a week to over $700 a week. Full CBP with the gym. Now, if we can help a person do that, do you think we can help you? Just curious. Joe and Pilar Labriola, hey, they were at 80 visits a week when they started. They came from a management group, frustrated, tired, stressed. They blew through 250 a week. Their income and retention increased. They went from 20 grand a month. Now they're 70 to 90 $1 million a year practice. And it's not about the money. It's about how they change their lives. This is learning how. Now both of them invested 20,000, not 13 or 14, 20,000. Okay. Now they're changing people's lives, lifetime patients left and right. So she sent this to me. So look all the way to the left. They opened a new practice, joined a management group, market. Whoa. Okay, what's the red? We had to stop marketing. What happened? Went down. Shoot, man, now we got to market. Why? Because what was this management group teaching them? Mrs. Jones, how is your pain affecting your life? So they could start people, but then what? The PVA wasn't 90, wasn't 80 or 70. So they'd stop marketing. What happens? People quit. Why? Your practice changes every 3 months. And then what they have to do, see the black end? They got to market. And then what happens? Stop marketing, crashes. They got to market. Stop marketing, market. Stop marketing, market. I'm so tired of marketing. I'm so tired of pushing the boulder uphill. So they stop. And what happens? No marketing. You don't have long-term lifetime patients at 80%. Your practice dies. They join Elite. See how it goes, that upward swing? No marketing. 2 words. No marketing. What did they do? Created motivated leaders, patients that were committed to lifetime care through the roof. They're even way above there now. She actually asked me to show this to people as a testimonial of how using pain and pleasure can change your purpose. Dustin Taylor, increased gross, paid $20,000, increased gross collections, $450,000 in the first year. Brought his team to every boot camp. Team runs a practice. He's an elite coach. So if you spent $20,000, well, plain fare, blah, 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 blah. So by the time you look at everything he invested and he did every step, learn pain, pleasure, he made, God, how many times is that? Well, he spent about 30 grand with plane fare and all that, 30 grand to make 450 grand. So that's 100, I don't even know much. That's a lot. That's a big percentage. 30, 450, that's 10 times, 15 times your investment. Is that good? Just curious. So anyway, he's not the only one. This is not uncommon. It's pain, pleasure, baby. It's not just pain, pleasure, pleasure. So we have creating chiropractic believer boot camps. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you learn how to use pain, pleasure on a high level, do you believe you can fulfill your purpose, get more commitments, have an easier, smoother run in practice that can run with you or without you because of the level of your committed patients and the ease of running that? So what I'd like to do now is ask your permission. I'd like to spend about 10 minutes and I'd like to show you the opportunity there. So can I have your permission to do that? I would appreciate it because now you're like, okay, shit, how do we do it, right? So let's go on. So what we have, this is the creating chiropractic believers, because if you want to change the way people live, you got to change what they believe. That will give you a 30% increase in patient commitment to care, 80% into lifetime care at 93.6%. Now, we guarantee that, okay? So you can increase that. Now, the question is, how do you do it? Do you want to do that? Okay, well, let's take a look at it. How do you do that? Well, first thing, this is going to be for one boot camp for you and your team. We have a pain boot camp and we have a pleasure boot camp. This is a picture of what the boot camps look like. This was in Park City in January. Okay, now what do the boot camps do? Now, they give you 80% of the communication. This is how you're going to learn how to use pain and pleasure to get people across fire, baby, where they will make unwavering commitment, not only to change their life, but to live a different life. Here's where you're going to learn. What are you going to be able to do? To identify limiting beliefs, to be able to identify the inspiration with each person that will help them make them want to change their life. What are you going to get rid of? All the small objections. Man, when you learn how to do this, they don't have objections. Okay? Now, what did this problem solve? For me, it solved dealing with small conversations. I can't afford it. Doc, can I go to the gym? Right? That's what it did for me, was solve that. What did it do for all the other clients? Eliminated objections, so commitments became easier. Now, this saves so much time and money. Why? How much time and money do some people put into marketing? How much time and money do you put in asking for referrals and doing all these things? How much time and money have we put into processing a patient to have them quit? That is time and energy and money. The pain and cost that I had to go through 20 years helps you make it easy and fast. Okay? So what else do we have? Well, we have the unprecedented ROF videos and audios. These are the scripts, day 1, day 2, and lifetime training. Now, what will this help you to do? Follow a system that eliminates objections. It will help you adapt. What's it going to get rid of? When I coach and we use the same scripts with every person, hey, it's the mundane thing of using a script with every person. Some people commit, some people don't, and you don't know why. So what's this help you to do? Be able to adapt to every person differently, because we have steps in our scripts. We have a 4-step consultation. Yes, we have a pre-consult that you just memorize. We have a 3-step financial, an 8-step re-exam, a 7-step ROF. Why? Because pain and pleasure is different for every person. So what's it eliminate? Saying the same thing to every person and then flipping a coin, hoping that they commit, when they have different personalities, different values, different purposes. Okay? Wow, what problem does it solve? Being unpredictable, right? It solves variables. How much time and money, again, when you process a person, just to have them commit to flip a coin between commitment and lifetime care. So if you were to purchase this, that'd be $1,085. Now, unlimited one-on-one coaching, at least 6 months. That means call anytime. What's that mean? I'm going to take you by the hand and teach you a professional coaching communication system, self-empowerment system. What will you be able to do? You'll be able to call me anytime you don't know how to handle an objection. What will it get rid of? The uncertainty, where something happens and you don't know how to handle it. What will it give you? Confidence, safety, certainty. What will it also give you? Massive return on your investment. What will it also give you? Fulfillment of your purpose when people commit. You know, so many times during coaching calls, people say, hey, I got to report a findings in 2 hours. Here was their objection. How do I handle this? Look, here's what you do. Say this. They get on a call. I tell them what to say. They call, 2.5 hours later. Man, they wrote a check. How much power is that? Right? Get rid of the uncertainty and the hope strategy for confidence, safety, and a great investment. What will this problem solve? Man, it solves the pain of people walking out. The cost of that is too much. Now, people that get in the $20,000 program, they pay $2,000 a month. So for at least 6 months, that's $12,000 value. You know what? You don't have to pay that. What's that cost you? It doesn't cost you anything. I'm giving you that. Then we have Creating Chiropractic Believers webinar training. Here are 7 webinars. How many? 7. Now, these come straight from the boot camp. These are advanced communication tools. What will give you the ability to do? To learn how people make decisions that turn into beliefs that limit them. You're going to learn how to overcome objections. You're going to learn how to find the inspiration with people, not only get them past their limiting belief, but what is that purpose and inspiration that will make them want to live their life differently? You have 7 communication belief principles that we can shatter, show you how to build a solid culture, and show you how to use pain pleasure to be able to get massive commitment. Now, if you were to just pay for that, that's $397. You don't have to pay anything for that. Okay, what problem does that solve? Tons of uncertainty into confidence. Now, we also have Creating Lifetime Patient Podcast. That's Chris and Lauren. They're the lifetime commitment coaches. Now, what are they going to give you? What are they going to be able to do? You're going to learn 3 steps before the doctor shakes hands with the patient. Before you shake the patient's hand on day 1, there's 3 things your team's going to do on the greeting and the tour that will already get people focused on lifetime care. In fact, it will get them asking for lifetime care before they shake your hand. What's that worth? That's priceless. We don't even have a charge because it's a podcast, but we're going to give that to you. So there's 20 years of communication training, 2 years of training these guys to be able to do it masterfully, to be able to bring that to you in 45 minutes. We also have a connection before correction teleconference. This comes right out of Elite Coaching. Again, Chris and Lauren, we take this from the Elite Coaching teleconferences. Now, this is taken from the teleconferences that people pay 20 grand for, right, in the coaching system. It's how connection is not about rapport. It's not about whether or not they like you. Connection is about aligning beliefs. It's about aligning beliefs. Aligning beliefs. What's it about? Say aligning beliefs. Now, when you get married, why are you getting married to that person? Because you have same belief systems. You have the same vision for your life. You have the same thing you want to create. Now, a marriage is that rapport. That's based on a lot more than rapport. That is deep emotional connection. How do you have deep emotional connection with more of your patients? By aligning belief systems. Here's a whole teleconference on aligning belief systems. What's that price? Well, it's freaking priceless. So what's that going to get rid of? Oh my God, when you align beliefs about every objection, right? You don't have to have small conversations. You can have great conversations with big picture focus on lifetime care. Now, when we add all that up, that's over $13,982. What's going to be your return? Over $100,000 in the first year. So if you invest 14 grand, can you have, or would that be worth gaining 100 grand to develop the skill of just using pain and pleasure to get all those things? Well, here's your investment. You're going to pay $13,982? Heck no. But for one boot camp, it's $38.47. Now, here's what I'm going to do, gang. Is it worth $38.47 to get $100,000 back? If all this did was give you 1 more new patient, full commitment to care, and 2 more lifetime every week for the next year. Now, that's conservative because we're going to increase it 3 to 5. But if all it did was give you 1, if all it did was give you 2 more per week and more referrals, and at least 2 of those went into lifetime care, not only would you make your investment back many times over, but would that fulfill your purpose and impact lives of your patients a lot better? Now, here's the deal. I had 2 choices. I could have made this a heck of a lot cheaper and said, hey, show up to the boot camp. I'll give you these things and not give you any coaching. But the reality is this is a professional communication training. You're going to go to the boot camps. You're going to come back different. Your mindset, your communication, you're going to be saying things on Monday you didn't say the week before. But I want to guarantee your success. I want to make sure you have at least 93.6. And if you're one of those 6.4, we will coach you until you get to that level. So you're guaranteed a result. I want to guarantee a result. That's why we're including the unlimited one-on-one coaching. Okay? And what we're also going to do, I'm going to take off another $347. So 1 boot camp and all those tools are $3,500. Okay. Now, when you do that, you're looking at 3 to 5 more, 8 out of 10, and into lifetime care. And will that impact your purpose? So if you can know how to use pain and pleasure and how to make an impact, I mean, if you look at that, shoot, you're going to make that back the first week. You're going to make that back before you even go to the boot camp because you need to do training. And the impact that you can make is huge. So I can't tell you what your purpose is, but you know what that is. And this is the difference between success and fulfillment. So the question is, how do you get that? Well, first of all, our next boot camp, the Pleasure Boot Camp, January 11th through the 13th is in Denver, Colorado. You want to have a different quarter, first quarter of next year, go to that boot camp. Then we have Boot Camp 1, that's the Pain Pleasure, the Pain one in Newport Beach, the Pleasure one in May. Here's our next series of boot camps. Now, the sooner you invest, the sooner you see a change. So what I'm showing you today, you're not going to get next January or February. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now because I want the next quarter for you to be such an amazing quarter. It's the end of the year. You're setting new goals. I know you have you're setting goals. How would you like the first quarter of next year to be so impactful that it doesn't depend on marketing? It depends on pain pleasure principles with patients. So here's what I want to do. I want you to text your name and email address. You're ready to make an impact. Just text I'm in. Name, email address, I'm in to this number. And what they're going to do is they're going to mail you a PayPal link where you can invest today. Now, here's the thing, gang. Because it's a guarantee, you can say I'm in, but I'm going to look at a survey. We're going to talk about your practice because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you, based on your stats, where I guarantee to get you. Now, there's a gentleman that just signed up for this last week. He's coming to the boot camp, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, signed up for the boot camp. Now, he was at about 90 a week. I told him, we're going to get you in 90 days to about 150 a week, 140 to 150. He was collecting about $30,000 a month. I guaranteed him he's going to have $45,000 a month. So for that investment, now he's going to both boot camps, not one, both. So for that investment, he's going to make double his money per month. So what's 15 grand increase? 15 times 12. That's 150,000. So for 7,000, he's going to make 150,000. The result is guaranteed. He gets free. He gets all the coaching he needs. Guarantee that result, and I'm sure he'll get it within 90 days, first quarter of next year. So I'm going to be able to look at your practice and be able to tell you this is where I will promise you I get you. And anybody that knows me knows my word is better than any contract, any agreement, because we're committed to your results, because we have that standard. So now what you can do is say, okay, you know what? Let me see what that is. So text your name and email address and put, I want to fill out a survey. And what we'll do is send you a survey. We'll set up a time to talk. I'll be able to look at your stats, and I'll tell you where I guarantee it. If that sounds good to you, we'll move forward. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If there's something better that can get you there, by all means, do it. But look where better got us so far. Better didn't get us, oats in a car doesn't work. We need friggin' high octane gas. So if you want high octane gas and you want to fill out a survey and you want to talk, then fill that out. So what is that? Hey, that's $3,500. Just jump in, call that number, text that in. If you want to fill out a survey, do this, do it this week, do it right now. And then here's my number. So if you want to call me or email me, call me or email me, here's my number. But here's the number you're going to text. So don't look at that one. Go to that one. See, not that one, that one. Text that right now. Man, are you texting right now? I want to know, are you texting? Just put in, I want a survey. Or man, you know what? Here's the deal. You guys know what your purpose is. If you don't make a must decision, how are your patients going to make a must decision? Isn't that really it? How do we expect people to do what we're not willing to do? So I just want to know, do you want to be better next year? Do you want to do something different that can take you to a new level next year? And I'm sure people had great years and broke records this year. Hey, let's keep moving forward. I can't make that decision for you, but you know. So get that text right now, and then here's my info if you just want to call. I so appreciate you guys. Really what it is I was able to fulfill my purpose in chiropractic, and we need to do that because there's nothing greater saying than, you know what, I did it, because there may be something bigger that's waiting. So I appreciate all you guys hanging out to the end. Please share this. We're going to email this out to you. Please share this with other people, because if we can make an impact, we don't want 4.2%. I want to see a change in humanity and chiropractic and in the general public in our lifetime. So if we can do that together, man, let's just make a bigger impact. Can we come together and do that? Let's not do something better. Let's do something different. And let's make an impact on humanity that we haven't made yet, that we can make now. All right. I love you guys. Thank you. Hope you got this information. Text right now. There you go. All right. Hope you got it. Okay. Thank you. Love you guys. Appreciate you. See you at the boot camps.